When I lost Kale, I was 29 years old. I didn't know how to survive the next 5 minutes, let alone the next 4 years. There is really no better time to talk about stuff like this than right now. This is a weird, I don't know if this is a little sign I'm getting from Kale or not. I came in the barn to do a project. Oh my God, look at him. Came into the barn on a whim to build his grandma this little wood project. It means a lot to me that I'm able to do this with Kale's tools. Mom briefly mentioned this to me and it spoke to me. And who follows me into the barn? Milo and the dogs. All the OGs follow me to the barn and they're helping me. They're helping me build it by sitting on me and sitting on all my wood. I have a very serious topic to talk about. When I lost Kale, I was 29 years old. I didn't know how to survive the next 5 minutes, let alone the next 4 years. It'll be 4 years that I lost him on June 1st, 2025. I cannot believe it's been 4 years. It feels like 5 minutes sometimes, and it feels like 20 years sometimes. Some things I wish that people knew about grief and loss is that it is not linear. There's not one way to fix it. It's not clean, it's not tidy. There are no processes or steps to take to get over that first hump right after you lose them. That first year was a complete fog. I would stand in the shower for hours, not hours, but it felt like hours, and not know if I washed my hair. Sometimes I wouldn't wash my hair in over a week or two and not even remember why. A lot of people don't talk about that first year and how devastating, and I had the whole world ahead of me, lots of plans. We were to be expecting to have a kid twice, and it didn't happen both times. So many of my life goals and dreams, my job, everything was completely put to a stop. It was to a halt. All of it was dead and gone. There was no getting it back. There was no fixing it. But grief is not linear. It's not clean, and it never ever goes away. It just feels a lot different. It's a lot more silent. It hits you harder when it does hit you because it's in a deeper spot in your heart now. It's in the dark depths of your soul at this point. And since I've been on social media and sharing it, I have many videos, if you go back, especially on my TikTok, where I talk about how grief is the reason I started sharing online. And there was something really healing about it in the beginning. I've become a little bit more calloused, a little bit more guarded these days because, you know, you can have a million nice comments, but those few nasty comments that talk about my intentions as to why I share on social media, they just don't understand my intentions, and they have a lot of assumptions about who I am and why I do the things that I do. Nowadays, I've definitely built a life that holds a lot of grief and a lot of growth, and it's all kind of intertwined in one. And Kale lives with me in everything I do. I mean, I sure as hell every single time I do something in life think, would this make Kale proud? And I feel like the answer is always yes. But if in that first year, just know that I see you and I know exactly what you're going through. And a lot of big changes have been happening in my life lately. That's why this has been on my mind. I have not been sleeping good. I have been just a running, ticking time bomb at this point. I'm sorry to tell the people that it's still fresh for. You're still gonna have that feeling, that guilt of being joyful and being happy. I still, in the back of my mind, have guilt for being happy. Here's some little grief facts as well that I really have been thinking about a lot lately. If somebody stumbles upon this video in the middle of grieving their spouse or family member or someone close to them, these are some really important things to remember. And the very first one is you are not broken and you are not crazy. Grief happens to every single person on this planet, and if you haven't experienced it, you're very lucky. You're very, very, very lucky, because everybody's got to die. No matter how old you are, grief and losing someone makes you grow up, and that's a good way to put it, in the weirdest ways possible. Your hyper independence might become a little bit dangerous. That's exactly what happened to me. Ask Zach. I didn't want or need anything from any man, from anyone. My hyper independence gets me into a lot of crap sometimes. So do not be afraid to ask for help, and do not be afraid to open up to people and, you know, maybe ask for some advice or tell people what you're going through. Hiding it is the worst thing you can do, and I still struggle with it. So I can't sit here and get on my podium and lecture you, because I still push it down deep inside, because it's just easier that way. And I don't want to bother or burden anyone with it. And most of the time, when I tell my loved ones that I didn't want to talk about it because I didn't want to burden them, they think I'm ridiculous for saying so. So don't ever think, don't build it up in your head that you are such a burden. It is not a burden to talk about this kind of stuff. Grief doesn't care about timing. You can be laughing 1 second and playing fetch with the dogs, and you can be bawling your eyes out the next second. There's no timing to it. You are not insane. You're gonna feel insane for a little bit. You know, make sure it's not happening every single day, every single minute of every single day for a long periodically time. Your freaking triggers are not always gonna be dramatic. They're gonna be in a moment like this, or at the grocery store, or you're looking at something in a store and it's gonna hit you how bad it hurts. And sometimes your body knows grief before your brain does. Habitual things that your body does every single day, every single year, every single month. Sometimes it'll hit you like a ton of bricks, like you will never expect it coming. And it will ruin your entire day. And you just have to go through it, because the only way is through it. You can't go over it, you can't go under it, you gotta go through it. And as bad as it hurts to say this as well, sometimes you're not even grieving the person, you're grieving the life that you were supposed to have with them, the life that died with them. And you're never, ever, ever gonna get it back. And I promise you, it does get better. Those first couple weeks without him completely destroyed me. And to this day, I still think about those moments, and they hurt pretty bad because of what was supposed to be. But holding on to that and living like you're holding on to a grudge and having that guilt and sorrow about it, it doesn't fix anything. Here's another tricky one. Some people told me that the second year is harder than the first because your body is no longer in shock of losing them and you're starting to feel everything. That is totally true. And the last thing, before I tell y'all the big news here in a couple weeks, moving forward is not betrayal. It is survival. Sometimes, you know, thinking about the world keeps, you know, spinning. I think about it often. It pisses me off. It's like offensive to think that the world keeps spinning, but moving forward is not betraying the person that has died. It is survival, and they would want that for you. And sometimes that phrase pisses me off too, but they would want you to be happy, and they probably didn't want to leave you here. And those are the most important things that I've learned. 1 year versus 4. Real quick before I let y'all go, it's the next day. We got this finished. I got far too emotional talking on camera yesterday, and I had to take a break, and I ended up going inside and didn't finish it. Today we had to go to the store to get some wood glue to put it all together, and I got some help from Zach And it just made this project go from pretty cool to like way cooler. It just made my entire day that it came out here and helped me and kind of move some stuff around and did it the right way. And we Craig jigged the whole entire thing. She's gonna love it. Appreciate y'all so much for making it to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching my silly little grief videos. Thank you for all the support and the kindness and the comments. I'll be looking forward to reading your stories and your signs because I have been having a whole lot of them, and I will see y'all in the next vlog. Okay, love you, bye.